Hello guys, this is Sir Nalan of Teach, and for today's episode we're going to discuss about learning the basic functions of Microsoft Excel. So this will be the part 1 of learning the basic Excel formulas. So we have, as I've said, we're going to discuss just 10 of the basic functions which I usually use in some of my projects using Microsoft Excel. So important notes muna, formulas in Microsoft Excel always starts with a equal sign. So pag magta-type tayo ng formula, laging nauuna ang equal sign. Hindi natin siya ilalagay sa hulihan dahil ituturing siyang normal text ng Excel. So the second one is variables in any given formula are separated by a comma. So pagkatapos natin mag-click, for example, ng isang cell, kailangan natin mag-type ng comma bago tayo mag-click kung saan o mag-type ng kung ano-ano, to make sure that every variable is separated from the other one. So with that out of the way, so today we're going to discuss 10, and the first 3, so ginupo ko siya para sunod-sunod and baka medyo makatulong para madali natin maintindihan. So the first time would be the sum if, and sum ifs. So sa name pa lang medyo gets nyo ng ibig sabihin ng or yung pagkakaiba-iba ng tatlo. So sum refers to for the summation of specific number of cells, both adjacent and non-adjacent. So kahit horizontal or vertical, yung isa-select nating cells, pwede niya makuha yung sum. So ang formula niya in Excel is usually nasa ganitong form. So sum, open parenthesis, start ng range, comma, and end of range. So next one is sum if. The sum if, summation of range of cells that meet specific criterion. So hence the word if. So maglalagay na tayo ng condition or criterion bago na kunin yung summation ng selected natin na cells. So ang formula niya will go like this: sum if, open parenthesis, the criterion range, comma, the criterion, comma, and the sum range. So the last one, or the next one, is sum ifs. So kita naman sa name, may S na. So sa part na to, kakaroon na siya ng 2 or more criteria or criterion, condition, para makuha niya yung sum. So ang formula niya ay ganito. So sum ifs, parenthesis open, sum range, comma, criterion range 1, or the first set of criteria, comma, then the specific criteria, and comma, and the next range of criterion. So the range ends, so usually this goes from 2, 3, and so on and so forth, depende kung ilan yung isiset mong criteria. So I have here table para sa example, para malino natin ito silang makita. So I forgot to place some values here. So for our first example, we have a sum. This is very easy. So kukunin natin yung total ng range of cells na ito. So for this example, vertical siya, patayo. So kukunin natin yung total nila gamit ang sum function. So we're going to type equal sum. So makikita nyo dito sa baba na madami yung functions ng sum. Depende na lang ito sa gamit. We'll discuss this later as we go on with our discussion with basic functions. So if we double click that sum, makikita nyo lalabas yung open parenthesis na. At this point, isa-select natin yung range of cells na gusto natin kunin yung sum. So we're going to click on the very top, then drag lang natin yung cursor natin pababa hanggang dun sa last cell na gusto natin kunin yung sum. So, close natin yung parenthesis, then press enter. So, the value that was returned was 76. So, ibig sabihin, ang sum ng range ng numbers na ito is 76. So, what if separated yung or magkakahiwa-hiwalay yung numbers na gusto nating add? So, pwede pa rin yan. So, yung isang paraan is by clicking them manually with holding the control key. So, first one, after nating i-type yung sum function, so, hold the control key, then click the first cell na isasama natin dun sa formula. So, without letting go of the control key, i-click natin yung next cell na isasama natin. So, and again, huwag nyo munang bibitawan yung control, then click for the next cell, and kung meron pa kayong iba, so click lang yung click. Then after nyo ma-click yung last cell na isasama nyo sa equation, close the equation by putting close parenthesis, then press enter. So it returned 14. So 3, 4, 7 plus 7, 14. So again, this is very basic itong sum na to. So move tayo dito sa sum if. So dito na. So we have here 4 columns na. So the first column is the range of students, which is randomly ang order nila, and the score. And sa column na ito, we have find scores for. So ito yung magiging conditions natin for this example. So we're going to find the scores for student 1 from this array of data. So dito natin gagamitin yung sum if. So equal sum if. So lalabas dyan yung yung function. So double click lang. Then kung mapapansin niyo dito sa lower part ng ng cell, naka-bold yung range. So dito i-highlight natin yung range ng students, or yung for example, if this was listed as name, isa-select natin yung range ng kung nasaan yung criteria na gagamitan natin. So after we selected that, comma, then the criteria. So for this example, we're going to look for the scores of student 1. So comma, then makikita nyo na yung sum range. So dito niya kukunin yung values na sa sum niya, or yung total niya. So if we select on the top, and the same principle, hold lang yung left button ng mouse, then after ma-highlight yung cells, just close the equation with the close parenthesis, then press enter. So we have 74. So meaning that the student 1 has or have a total score of 74 from this array of scores. So let's do that again with student number 2. So this is principle lang So equal sum if, then range pala, so select lang yung students, comma, then si student number 2 naman ang magiging criteria natin. So comma, then the range of scores, then close it, press enter. We have 55. So let's do it again with student 3. So sum if criteria, range, comma, criteria, comma, then sum range. So for this example, ito yung values na nakuha natin. So ang tinotal lang ng ginawa natin yung formula is base dun sa sinet natin criteria, which are the 3 different students. So paano naman siya sa sum ifs? So let's move to the next table. Sa sum ifs, gagamit lang tayo dito ng dalawang criteria. So, nakaready yung table ko dito. Itong mga dito by the way is just randomly generated. So, hindi naman talaga siya actual scores, and hindi rin ako naglagay ng name ng students kahit na tsamba for whatever reasons naman. So, maglalagay tayo dito ng dalawang criteria. So, for this example, so sa taas may label. So, find the score for quarter. Let's just say quarter 1. Then, for student 1. So, dito importante pala na itatype natin kung ano yung formatting dito sa listing, ganoon din ang gagawin natin dito. So, hindi pwede 1 lang pala, sorry. So, student 1. So, dito sa total, sa column ng total, sa white space, dyan natin lalagay yung formula. So, equal sum ifs. Double click again. So, nakikita nyo na nauna na yung sum range. So, take note of that. Palaging titingin dito sa lower part, since nakalagay naman dito or indicated dito yung kung aling cells ba dapat mo na ating isi-select. So at this particular example, mauuna yung sum range dun sa sum if, nahuli yung sum range ng isa-select lang natin yung array of scores, then comma, mag-bold naman yung criteria range 1. So alin ang criteria 1? So, pwede natin kunin yung student, pwede rin yung quarter. So, for this example, gamitin natin criteria range 1 yung list of students. So, this one, comma, then criteria 1. So, alin na criteria ang gagamitin natin base dito sa listing na to. So, for this example, we have selected student 1. So, comma. Now, for the second criteria, we have the quarter. So, dito nakalagay lang yung quarters 1, 2, 3. Paulit-ulit. So, separate them. Then, select lang natin ulit sila. Then, comma. Then, yung next criteria na, which is yung number ng quarter. For this example, it's 1. So, tapos na. Close the equation or the formula and press enter. So, we have returned by the value of 70. So, ibig sabihin, for quarter 1, si student 1 ay may total scores of 70. So, let's try it again with quarter 2 for student 2. Again, click lang natin. By the way, important rin pala. I-click natin yung cell kung saan natin ilalagay yung formula, kasi dun niya rin i-return yung result, kung ano man result nung equation na ilalagay natin. So, equal sum ifs. So, sum range, comma, then criteria 1, again the student, comma. So, for this at this point, si student 2, comma, then criteria range 2 yung quarters, comma, then this time naman yung quarter 2. So let's close it, press enter. So we have 76. So si student 2 sa quarter 2 have the total scores of a total score of 76. So diretso natin quarter 3 and student 3. So sum ifs, sum range, comma, criteria range 1 and criteria which is student 3, and second range, comma, then criteria. So parenthesis, enter. So we have returned by a value of 83. So we have here successfully applied two criteria bago magamit natin yung sum function. So no errors pa naman so far. So balik tayo sa presentation. So the next three will be the average, average if, and average ifs. As you can see, ang mga pinili ko munang topic is yung mga madalas kong ginamit dun sa project ko. Kasi nature ng trabaho natin. So, ito yung mga ginagamit namin para mag-compute ng grades ng mga estudyante. So, first, the fourth one is average. So, it allows us to get the average of specific number of cells. Again, both adjacent and non-adjacent. So, ganito yung formula niya. So, mapapansin nyo, parehas lang yung sum. So, this first 9, actually, medyo parehas lang yung nature nila. So, fifth, average if, the same. Mag-set na tayo ng one criterion bago makuha yung average. Then, the sixth is average ifs. So, 2 or more criterions or criteria para makuha natin yung average. So, direct tayo dito. So, meron ako naka-ready example. Dinilit ko na naman pala yung values dito. So, dito, sa first column, average. So, alam naman natin yung average, add all scores divided by the number of scores. So, dito, wala nang ganon. Itatype lang natin yung average. Then, select the cells. Close the equation by close parenthesis. So, we have 7.6. Ganun lang. Wala nang add, wala nang divide. So, isaselect lang natin yung cells. So, same principle kanina yung ginawa natin. Pwede rin na iselect mo lang yung cells na gusto mong kunan ng average. So, tatype na ulit. Equal average. So, again, importante ko, hold the control key. Select the cells na gusto natin isama dun sa equation, then press enter. So, we have returned by a value of 5.3. So, let's move on to average if. So, maglalagay tayo ng one criterion, isang condition. So, again, paras kanina, gagamitin natin na conditions ay yung mga students. So, dito, kukunin natin yung average for student 1. Bale, siya yung maging condition. So, from the set of scores, imbis na hanapin natin yung mga scores ni student 1, si Excel na ang gagawa natin para sa atin. Isa-select natin silang lahat, ilalagay natin kung sino yung gusto natin kunin ng average, yun na. So imagine, gawin nyo to kung may 200 kayong estudyante. Diba, kung isa-isahin nyo pa yung mga pangalan nila, so titingin pa kayo kung saan-saan, imagine the benefit. Okay, moving on. So, average if. Then, dito naman sa baba, makikita na yung range. So, ang tinutukoy nito ay yung array of students. So, range, comma, yung criteria. So, dito na nga, ang criteria natin ay yung student 1. So, ang titingnan lang ni Excel ay yung scores ni student 1. So, after type ng comma, select naman natin yung average range. Yung range kung saan niya kukunan yung mga scores na i-average niya. So, close, enter. So, we have returned by a value of 19. So, ibig sabihin, dito sa scores na to, ang average na score ni student 1 is 19. So, this is not the average score of all of the scores but kay student number 1 lang. So, ulitin natin kay student number 2. So, sum na pala. Average if. So, range, same lang. Comma. Criteria. So, this time, si student 2 naman. Comma. Close. Enter. So, si student 2 ay nakakuha ng average of 18. So, again, kay naman, student 3. So, actually, mamamaster nyo ito ng paulit-ulit. Kung gagawin nyo ito ng paulit-ulit, ulit-ulit, makukuha nyo rin to. So, okay lang magkamali. So, mind you, sa YouTube lang din ako natuto. Wala na nagturo sa akin ito. At wala rin akong kahit anong background maliban sa mathematics teacher ako. Yun lang talaga, as in self-taught lang talaga. So by the way, all is well. So criteria this time, si student 3, then comma, then let's select this array of scores. So yan, 21. So from this array of scores, this is only 10. So hindi ko maiwasan na isipin na paano kung meron kang mga 5 sections na ganito. So imagine the benefit na lang. So importante rin na matutunan natin kahit yung basic lang talaga, as in. So tama na yan. So average ifs naman. So as I've said earlier dun sa sum, pag ifs na or may s na sa dulo, 2 or more na. So we're going to, as you can see, parehas lang ng table kanina. So hinikayat ko talagang makapag-isip ng example na kung pwede pare-parehas lang yung first 9 para makompare talaga natin yung pagkakaiba-iba nilang tatlo, since nakagrupo naman sila into 3. But the best part is number 10 actually. Sige, so lagay tayo dito ng value. So find the average for quarter 1 for student 1. Dito natin lalagay yung answer. So average ifs, papansin nyo na una na naman yung average range. So uunahin natin i-click yung range of scores, comma, the first set of criteria, comma, yung first criteria is student 1, comma, then the second set of criteria, which is the number of quarter, comma, then that criteria na nga, close, enter. So meaning si student 1 for quarter 1 is nakakuha ng average of 18 from this set of scores. So considering na may quarter na, nakuha niya pa yun. So let's continue with student number 2, so quarter 2 naman. So ulitin lang natin average ifs. So average range, comma, criterion 1, comma, first criteria, comma, second set of criteria, comma, then second criteria, enter. So 19. So let's finish this with student 3. Ulit average ifs, average range, comma, first range, criteria, comma, second criteria, comma, then second criteria, comma. Okay, so we have 21. So mapapansin nyo parehas lang yung sagot dun sa average if. So bakit? Kasi parehas nga yung number na ginamit ko. So considering lang na condition, may dalawa na siyang condition and I've only used 3 quarters. So naturally, yun din ang i-return niya ng value. Pero pag ginamit nyo to sa kasi maraming pwedeng paggamitan yung average if lalo sa pag-compute ng mga honors. Hindi pa, wala pa sa new normal, may mga kino-consider sa pag-compute ng mga academic excellence awardee. So let's move to the next group, which is the count. So count if. So ito yung pinakamadali dito. So, hence na yung count. Bibilangin lang ni Excel yung cells na nagko-contain ng numbers. Oo, numbers lang ang bibilangin niya. Pero pwede naman na bilangin niya yung ibang laman ng set of cells. So mag-set tayo ng conditions or yung ibang feature ng count. So dito sa example na ito, yung ang sinasabi ko kasi yung ginagamit namin sa grades, which is of course tayo sa is numbers. So dito puro lang siya numbers. So count, bibilangin niya yung cells na may number. So meaning kung halimbawa si student out of 10 quizzes may kulang mo 2, Tapos gusto mong malaman kung ilan without counting manually, so itatype mo lang yung count function, i-return yan yung value. Makikita mo na kung ilan yung bakanting cell dun sa set of cells or sa range ng cells. So again, parehas lang sila, count, open, start range, and end range. So count if, bibilangin ng Excel yung cells na may number depende dun sa set mong criterion. Then the next one, count ifs, bibilangin niya depende naman sa dalawang criterion. So let's move to our example. So dito makikita naman natin dito, so hindi na importante yung mga numbers na yan kasi bibilangin nyo lang kung ilang cell ang may laman. So count, select lang natin yung cells or i-highlight natin sila, then press enter. So as you can see, 10 ang cells na may laman. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. So paano naman to? Tignan natin dito kung totoo nga yung sinasabi ko. So we have here obviously 3 cells na may numbers lang, pero pag select natin sila lahat, all 10, and press enter, so as you can see, i-return niya is yung cells lang again na may number. So since these are blank, so wala siyang laman. So move on tayo sa count. Dito na tayo sa count if. So we're going to set a condition. So dito, although may scores pa naman siya, hindi na natin kailangan tignan kung ilan yung score, yung value ng score. At this point, bibilangin lang na Excel kung ilang beses nag-appear si student 1 or ilang beses meron si student 1. Bali yun ang pinaka-question dito. So count if, count if, so range, select, then criteria. So dito, bibilangin niya lang. So ang sinat kong conditions, ito ang idea, ilan ba ang quizzes ni student 1. So ganyan lang yung gusto natin malaman. So press enter. So from this array of data, merong 4 na quiz si student 1. Ganun lang yan. So next one, count if, so range again, comma, and criteria, enter. So while student 1 have 4, si student 2 ay may 3. So continue, count if, select, comma, then criteria, close, then enter. So madali, bibilangin niya lang kung ilan ang quizzes. For this example, ang quizzes or assessment ni student 1, 2, and 3. So dito sa baba mapapansin nyo ay may nilagay ako ng special case, yung count scores less than. So ganito na yon, ginagamit to sa item analysis. So wala pa akong nilagay na kahit na ano, so type lang natin na 20. So sa unang tingin, ilan ba yung scores na less than 20? So nakatamanid bilang, di ba? So mayroon actually ng function yung count para dyan. So count if pa rin tayo, hindi pa tayo umalay sa count if. So count if, so range. So dito tayo kukuha ng values sa set of numbers, then comma again. As I've said earlier, always separate every variable with comma. So ang criteria nga natin is may konting elements ilalagay. So since ang hinahanap natin is yung scores less than, ilalagay natin yung symbol na inequality, which is less than, then with and symbol. Tapos ilalagay natin yung cell kung saan natin nilagay yung gusto natin yung variable. So pwede kasi ditong ilagay nilang natin na 20. Pero paano pag gusto mo yung palitan? So uulitin mo na naman or i-edit mo na naman yung formula. So ayaw natin ng gano'n na paulit-ulit ng edit. So doon tayo sa shortcut. So, tignan yon, since may dalawa na tayong parenthesis, naging pula na yung isa, hindi ibig sabihin mali. So, pinulayan lang ni Excel para malaman natin na may dalawa ng grupo sa loob ng iisang function. So, click lang natin yung cell kung saan natin nilagay yung gusto nating scores na bilangin, then close it and close it. So, bakit dalawang beses? So, since may dalawa na ngang grupo, syempre, dalawang parentheses na meron. So, sa fundamentals naman yun ng groupings yata, if tama. So, you press enter. So, we have 5. So, meaning, dito sa set of scores na ito, meron tayong 5 na less than 20. So, what if we try to change this to 25? So, we have 9. So, automatic na nag-return yung value. So, ibig sabihin dito sa 10 scores, 10 nga pa, 10. 9 ang less than 25. So, as you can see, wala naman talagang lumampas ng 25 maliban dito. So, less than. Syempre, hindi kasama yung 25. So, talaga natin ng 15. So, 1. So, alin nga ba yung mas mababa pa sa 15? Ito, 14. So, kita nyo na, hindi lang pagbibilang ng estudyante ang kaya na. So, maraming possibilities, maraming pwedeng paggamitan. So, okay. Next is count ifs. So, basically, same idea ng dalawang nauna, dalawa lang criteria. So, quarter 1 for student 1. So, count ifs. So, dito, yung criteria range 1. Dito. Then, yung criteria sa student 1, comma. Second set of criteria, comma. Then, yung criteria, then close. So, as you can see, 4. Ibig sabihin, si student 1 sa quarter 1 ay may 4 na assessment. May 4 na scores. So, move tayo dito kay student 2. The same lang. Count ifs. First set, comma. Then, take, comma. Second set, comma. Second criteria, comma. So, for then, so, balik. So, quarter 3, student 3 equal count ifs. First set, first criteria, second set, second criteria. Baliktad, sorry. Ulit. Count ifs, first criteria, comma. Yan, okay na. Set, comma, criteria. Oops. Close. Okay, we have 4. So, since these are 12, so malamang 4 talaga sila. So, again, these are the first 3 groups and pareho lang yung formatting nila. So, let's move to, so, para sa akin yung best part ng Excel, yung if statement. So, ang idea ng if statement is gagawa ka ng statement na nasa formula form, then dalawa lang. Kung totoo, ito yung output. Kung mali, ito yung output. Simple as that. So, parang 1 plus 1. Kung 2 yung sagot, the return is 2. But if the answer is, for example, 3, may mag-return na value. Bakit? 3. So, mali yung 3. So, ipapakita natin. So, we have here a table. So, familiar ba kayo dito? Okay. So, we have here 5 questions. So, dito natin ilalagay yung 5 responses ng student. So, dito naman natin ilalagay yung correct answer for the 5 questions. Dito naman yung remarks and dito yung score. So, sa baba, nilagyan ko na lang ng sum of score. So, paano naman natin ma-incorporate dito yung if statement? So, ganito lang. Example, may quiz ka and the correct answers are A, B, C, C, D, and B. So if you have like 40 questions and you have 200 students, imagine the disaster. So pwede natin mabadali. So you're just going to key in the responses of the students, then automatic na mag-generate yung scores. And kung may gusto ka pang remarks, so itong part na talagang inaral ko para dun sa ginawa kong item analysis. So gamit na gamit ko talaga ang if statement. Okay, moving on. So dito sa remarks, maglalagay tayo ng equation, formula. So lagyan natin ng sample na A. So supposedly tama yung sagot ng bata, ano? So if equal if lang, walang ifs. So logical test, ito na yung test na sinasabi ko, yung comparison. So ganito lang, saselect natin yung mga cells, tapos pag equal yung values nila, tama. Pag hindi equal yung values nila, mali. Ganun lang. So pag binabasa natin siya into statement, ganito lang. If the student's response is equal to the correct answer or the key to correction, comma, ano ang magiging remarks natin? Siyempre, correct. Kasi equal yung sagot dun sa nung sagot ng bata dun sa tama talagang sagot. So, paano pag hindi equal or hindi parehas? So, lagyan lang natin ng long. So, press enter. As you can see, hindi lumabas yung at kinahit kong equation, but then ang ni-return niya output is yung naka quotation, which is correct. So since nasatisfy niya yung condition sa if statement, ang ni-return niya is yung i-return niyang value kung tama or kung nasatisfy. So palitan pa natin ng letter B. So obviously hindi na siya equal, so press enter. So since the student's answer is not equal to the correct answer, ang remarks mo would be wrong, di ba? So uulitin lang natin to dito sa ibang cells. So ulit lang, if the student's answer is equal to the correct answer, then correct, otherwise wrong. Parang naman lang. So ito pwede natin gamitin yung copy paste. So parang copy paste pala tayo sa Excel, doon na mapapansin nyo na nagpapalit yung cell addresses nila. So papakita ko lang, pag dinouble click ito, lalabas yung formula, then nag-highlight yung mga katabing cells. Pag click ko naman sa baba, yung katabi niya rin na cells ang highlight. So ibig sabihin, yung so this particular example, chine-check nila yung cells adjacent sa kanila. So if we copy and paste, hindi kokopyahin yung nasa itaas, but yung nasa katabi nila, yun yung check nila. So i-discuss pa natin na later on. So since they are not equal, they are all wrong. So palitan natin na A, B, C, D, and D. As you can see, automatic na nagpapalit yung remarks without you kung ano pa man. So paano naman yung score? Ito na. Uulitin lang natin yung ginawa natin dito sa remarks. But this time, ang gagamitin natin is number. So papakita ko rin sa inyo yung pagkakaiba ng may quotation and wala. Why? Again, if the student's answer is equal to the correct answer, then ang i-return niyang value is 1. So meaning this is an integer number ang ibabalik niya. Doon sa kabila, since gusto kong ibalik niya is phrase or word, kailangan natin lagyan ng quotation para i-return niya as literal. Kasi pag nilagyan ko pa ito ng ganyan, i-return siya as parang character lang na 1, hindi siya as a number. So do you get the point? So 1 if correct, otherwise 0. So Bakit pala 1? Kasi usually sa multiple choice naman ang one item is equivalent to 1 point, di ba? So hindi na uso yung mga 15 point na essay. So for 40 items, that will be 40 questions ideally. So okay, uulitin lang natin to dito sa baba. So again, if student's answer is equal to correct answer 1, otherwise 0. So kopya lang natin dito sa baba. Then try natin palitan So C, so wrong. Since wrong, ang score niya is 0, diba? So lagyan natin ang total. So equal sum, hindi pa naman nililimutan, so tignan natin. So automated na yan lahat. So ganun lang. So that's it basically. The first 10 of the basic formulas from features nila ng Microsoft Excel, and road to 100 to, nakakatan pa lang tayo. So this we will have more than one part. So try natin i-discuss ng madami yung iba, but for this time we are going to just do 10. So although these are basic lang ang pinakita ko sa inyo, marami kayong pwedeng paggamitan nito. So yung mga bling mga design pwede niya matutunan niya later on, but yung application nito is hindi naman endless. So kayo na, depende na sa purpose nyo, sa nature ng trabaho, or kung gusto mo lang matuto. So pwede. Ako kasi pinag-aralan ko to para mapadali yung trabaho ko, kasi mas okay yung assisted ka ng ganito. Imagine yung makakat mong time, diba? So anyway, that's all for today. Thank you. Yung mga hindi pa nag-subscribe, just click subscribe and hit the notification bell para sa update pag may new content. So that would be all. Thank you. God bless.